Nothing humbles a man faster than losing access to you. You can cry, you can beg, you can explain yourself so many different ways. Most men do not care while they still have access to you, okay? As long as you're still answering the phone for that nigga, you're still sleeping with him, and you're still available whenever he's lonely, he's gonna think that he's winning, all right? That's why some men treat good women like options, because they think that you're so attached to leave. But the second you stop feeding his ego, now everything changes. Now he's stalking your page, and now he's double texting you, right? And now he wants to talk all of a sudden. It's funny how a man suddenly learns communication when he feels you're slipping away.
Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Mskabue. So ladies, hey, I agree that nothing humbles a man more than losing access to you. Especially when he thought you'd never leave, especially when he thought, oh, he's so great, that's why you're so nice to him, you love him so much, you'll never be able to detach. And then you walk away, and then you go no contacts, and then you're thriving, and then you're glowing, and then you pay him no mind. Oh my God, nothing humbles that man more than this, because now he has to fix his narrative, especially if he's a narcissist and they're used to controlling the narrative. He has to fix his narrative. He has to know what to go and tell the flying monkeys or the people in his life. He has to know what he's gonna tell them. Why did she stop talking to you? Why did she decide she'd never talk to you? Because no sane woman leaves a good man. No good man is left. No woman leaves a good man. Let me tell you the truth, especially with kids. No good man is left. So anyway, ladies, let's quickly jump right into this video, and then I'll be back to give my interesting take on it.
When you lose access to a woman who really fuck with you at some point, it's usually because she has something that was really big to her and that you treated like it was a very small thing. And that's how a woman goes from talking to you all day, every day, to not looking at you at all as somebody who can fix these problems that she has. And it really are small things, but they turn into big things if you don't approach it with any type of immediacy. So the moment that's addressed, you need to approach it as if it's a big thing. Don't let it turn into something they don't have to. And that's the type of shit that'll have a woman not fuck with you again, because after a while, she'll look at you as somebody that cannot fix these little ass issues that she needs fixed. It's like, what are you really there for? Don't be that guy.
Drama gives him power. This takes it away. When a woman still argues, begs, or tries to explain herself, this makes a man feel important. Even anger gives him relevance. Drama still tells him he still has emotional control. But that silence tells him that he has no access. And men are wired to notice access more than words. When you remove yourself calmly, no speeches, no revenge, and no emotional breakdown, a man starts replaying everything. Not because he suddenly became emotional, but because he lost certainty. A man's ego is tied to knowing that he still has a place in your life. The moment that place disappears without chaos, it shakes us. Here's what women don't expect. Men expect reactions, explanations, and for you to fight to be understood. So when you don't, it creates a power shift. You didn't lose control, he did. Losing access without drama forces a man to face his own behaviors alone. There's no distractions, no arguments to win, and no emotions to manage. Just absence. And absence is loud. This isn't manipulation. This is discipline. This is self-respect. And it's why the woman who walks away quietly is the woman that a man never forgets. Peace and love. Like and follow.
I don't think men understand how inaccessible you are until they're the ones who has to lose access. Once you have my attention and you lose it, it is very hard to come around me again or to link with me again. And that goes for friendships too. And I blame women for this because there are so many men that are used to accessible women that go out of their way to be seen. She clubs every weekend looking for attention, always in a group, available as soon as you call her. Some men really think that's all women, and when they have your presence, they try to treat you like every other female they met or had before you without realizing you're different. It always takes for them to lose access to realize the difference in how valuable your presence truly was. See, those females don't know their worth yet. They still lost trying to find it in other places or people. But once you know who you truly are, you won't just allow anybody in your space because you are who you associate with. This is why you have to be picky about who you let lead you, because if you're dealing with a clown, people will think you the circus. Who you give your time to is important. The right relationships and friendships can change your complete life. Don't be so busy trying to try me like I'm them that you lose the plot. If you can't add value to me, then you subtracting it. Free game.
Men do not know how lucky they are when a girl actually likes them.
I'll take this a step further. We not only do not know how lucky we are when a girl likes us, but we don't know how much it's going to suck once that person that likes us no longer likes us and we lose access to them. We don't get that until that moment actually happens, right? Because maybe you have her and she likes you and you have access to her and text her all the time, and then suddenly she's like, oh my gosh, this guy doesn't like me as much as I think he should, and so I'm gonna move on because I have suddenly this newfound self-respect for myself. And then we, as this dumb guy, we don't realize, like, damn, I guess she liked me a little bit more than I did, and now suddenly I can't text her as much and I'm not getting responses as fast as I used to because suddenly she's responding to this dude named Trevor who's been sliding in her DMs for longer than I even knew her. And then we have to deal with this and have the dumb face like, damn, I guess she did like me.
I hear a lot of people get on here and say that that man still be in love with his ex, but I beg to differ. He's not in love with her. In fact, he never was. He's more so mad at the fact that he lost control over her. When he lost control, it bruised his ego. That's the woman that built him up. That's the woman he got away with the most shit with. That's the woman he cheated on the most. That's the woman he was most abusive to and treated like shit. Nothing about that is love. That is a trauma bond. So in love with her, no. Upset and mad that he lost control, of course. He never wanted her to get away. He never thought that she would muster up the courage to leave him alone. Can she call and break up whatever he got going on in that moment? Probably, but she still gets the same man at the end of the day. He's still unhealed. He's going to continue to treat her like shit. He's going to do everything that he did to her before because he's used to getting away with it already. He's conditioned her to put up with his bullshit. He's trained her to be his bitch, and that's what she settled for in the past. Stop saying that these niggas be in love with their ex, because no, they don't be. If you want the real reality, that nigga is gay. Any man that finds it hard to treat a woman like gold is gay as fuck. Y'all think these niggas be out here fighting demons, but that be the main one. That really be the underlying issue. You just steer clear of any unhealed man and any man that's obsessed with their ex, constantly talking about their ex, can't keep their ex name out their mouth. He's not in love with you. He wasn't in love with her. And as long as he stays an unhealed man, he won't be able to love anything because he doesn't love himself. Now, I hope this helps. I love you.
The moment that narc realizes they don't have access to you anymore, that's when everything starts falling apart. At first, they don't notice it. They're used to being able to reach you. They're used to being able to text you. And they're used to knowing that you're going to always respond. Because in their mind, you're supposed to always be available to them. But this time, you're not. No replies, no reactions, no energy. And when that silence keeps going and they can't tap into your emotions like they used to, that's when the panic begins. Because one thing that narc depends on is access to you. And once the access is gone, so is their control. So let me ask you something. When did you finally cut access for good? Let me know. Let's heal.
Someone regrets being so committed to misunderstanding you because now they realize they lost access to you completely. Man, you was losing your mind dealing with this person. You was like, am I speaking English? Or every time you guys would get into a spat or you were trying to get them to see your perspective, it was always met with somehow like not understanding what you were talking about. And he owed you. You were like, is it me? Am I just not communicating the right way? And you would try so many different angles to try to get this person to see your perspective. And then you start waking up and you're like, oh, this person is just going to misunderstand you no matter what. And it could be like multiple reasons. They're either like intimidated by you. They don't want to take accountability. Some demon they have in them is causing them to just be like, I'm not going to understand you. And once you peep that out and you made peace with the fact that you're never going to get a normal person out of this individual, you are someone that likes to protect your peace. So you walked away from that person And now the person that was so committed to misunderstanding you, now they wish they didn't do that. They didn't know you were going to have the guts to actually walk away from them. And now they are questioning why they kept doing that to you.
Sometimes people gotta lose complete access to you to finally realize where they had you messed up at. And even by the time they realize that they was wrong, it's often too late because they've already been cut off. Too often and too frequent, when people know that you care about them, people know that you have love for them, they will often take you for granted and feel like they could never lose you until they get cut. That's when all realizations start to pour in. And it's often the time where you finally cut the strings, they really don't believe you because you have been so forgiving prior. But when a person is fed up, they fed up and there's no coming back from that. Because I'm literally the type of person where I will literally let you know where you have me messed up at and I'll give you a couple chances. But once I see clearly that you don't care to change behavior and rectify what you did wrong, here come the scissors, clink, clink, clink. Life is precious. Life is short. I don't have time to have people in my life who add drama and negativity and anxiety. I live a peaceful life. So the people that come into my life have to be bringing peace and additional happiness, not worry and confusion.
One thing's for certain and two things for sure. A lot of people will start regretting the fact that they no longer have access to you when they start seeing everybody else get to enjoy what they had. They see others getting to experience your sweet side, your sweetheart, how genuine you are, how reliable you are, how you show up for people one call away. You always, there are people, when they start seeing other people getting the chance to experience what they used to experience before they messed it up, oh, they don't like that. It's not about not extending grace, but it's all about standing in your boundaries and holding yourself to a standard of, I know my worth and I know what I bring to the table. And if you're not matching it and appreciating it, I don't want you around me. Because once you get a taste of those people who appreciate you the first time around, your tolerance for people who want to play games in and out, on and off with you is very low. You like, because now I know that it is possible for people to come into my life the first time, treat me right. There's no do-overs. You chose your side, so stay there. Simple. And I'm just in a season of my life where you see the material, so act accordingly. And I mean that in the most humblest way ever.
And the last thing I have to say, you guys, is that when somebody knows that they don't deserve access to you, they usually mistreat you purposefully in order to reconcile with the cognitive dissonance they feel about the entire situation. And they usually do it by devaluing you in order to create a safer power dynamic for themselves instead of just working on their inadequacies. Okay. When people realize that they losing access to you, they start love bombing and breadcrumbing you. All of a sudden, they liking your stories, hearting your posts, checking up on you every day, saying they love you more, showing up to your house with gifts, flowers, your favorite Starbucks drink. They finally buy that thing for you that you've been asking for years, months, weeks. They literally start to do all the simple things that you asked of them before they started losing access to you. When people start doing this to you, you might as well just call it quits. That goes for friends, family members, associates, everybody. It's all a manipulation tactic to reel you back in and for them to do the same thing all over again. They haven't changed. They haven't self-reflected. They never apologize because the breadcrumbing and the love bombing is the apology. They feel like love bombing and breadcrumbing is enough for you to just forget and look past whatever they did. Absolutely not. Self-reflection, taking accountability, and apologizing is way more valuable than the things that they love bomb you with or breadcrumb you with. What they do for you seems nice in the moment, but I guarantee you it's temporary. If they can't take accountability and apologize, fuck out your face. Okay, wonderful. I hope this helps. I love you, Sting.
I have a theory that most men will have to lose the woman that they love before they realize how much they're in love with her. And the reason for this comes down to the biochemistry of how men and women bond in relationships. Well, women bond through the release of a hormone called oxytocin. Oxytocin, which is known as the cuddle hormone, is released when we are cuddling, when we are being intimate, when we are spending quality time with someone. So the more intimate time we spend with someone, the more that we are going to naturally bond to them. While men may enjoy this level of intimacy, they don't bond the same way. In fact, they bond through the release of a hormone called vasopressin. Vasopressin is released and activated when a man feels agitated, when he feels stressed, and when he feels this immense pressure that he is going to potentially lose something. And this hormonal difference is one of the main reasons why there's such a disconnect in how men and women bond together. Now, the thing to understand here is that this can be a huge process of maturity for men. Is when they go through that process of loving a woman, bonding to her, then losing her, all that vasopressin kicks in. It's that sobering realization of, oh my God, I actually really do love this woman and want to build a life with her. Problem is, by the time he has that realization, it's often too late. Has moved on. She's in the mindset of, if he doesn't recognize my worth the first time, I don't want him. So now we're creating an even bigger disconnect, where now he wants to bond, she doesn't want to, and then the relationship falls apart. And it's such a catch-22 because this dynamic can actually lead to some of the best, most fulfilling, and eventually healthiest relationships. Both people are willing to do the work required in order to work through it. In other words, if that man has that vasopressin released in his brain from losing that woman, he decides that he's ready to become the man that she deserves. She, on the other hand, loves him enough to give him a second chance, give him the opportunity to do his work while also doing her work in that situation, which is forgiveness, and also coming back into a deeper sense of self-worth. They can come back together and build a beautiful new chapter in their relationship. People don't want to do that work. If you are currently in this dynamic, maybe you're the woman who watched the man that she loved walk away from her, or you are the man who walked away from the woman that you love and now you're realizing the extent to which you love her. These are the questions that you have to ask yourself. For the man, you have to ask yourself, are you willing to do the work required in order to rebuild the relationship? And also doing the work to mature and get that sort of vasopressin release elsewhere. Just work, investing, going to the gym. For the woman, you have to ask yourself if you are truly ready to not only forgive him, but forgive yourself for being in that dynamic. If you love this person enough to be patient with him as he goes through his own process. Not easy work to do. In fact, it requires a lot of growth and maturity from both people. But my theory lies in the belief that if two people can work through this, they will have the healthiest relationship at the end.
And when a man see you moved on to something bigger and better than him, and you ain't get your motherfucking get back, you went out here just trying to fuck off all these men. You literally did your motherfucking big one. You waited, you healed, you got your shit together, you became that boss ass bitch that you fucking wanted to be, and then you found you a better man. You found you a man that's bigger and better than him. Oh baby, that man gonna be hurt. That man motherfucking chest gonna motherfucking hurt. He gonna be out here writing a 4-page motherfucking letter like he Aaliyah, baby. One thing about it, you don't have to try to get no get back. You don't have to be out here throwing dirt on no nigga name. You don't have to be out here doing all that bad stuff. Because one thing about it, a hit man's gonna holler. When that man see that you with somebody better than him, oh baby, just wait.
The best form of revenge is silence and revoking their access to you. That's it. Not fighting with them, they mama, they daddy, they sister, they brother, going crazy, crying, confessing your love. None of that works. Be quiet. Hurt in silence. Go cry by yourself. You don't need to cry to them. Don't be posting little stuff to get their attention and talking to different people to try to make them jealous. None of that works. They don't care. The best form of revenge is silence. If they don't care about how they made you feel, why do you think they're crying over them or doing the most, crashing out, keying their car, flattening their tires? Why do you think that's going to make them want you more? It's not. You just look crazy. And you still gonna be hurt after you do it. It's not gonna make you feel better. Slapping a mama, it's not gonna make you feel better. You just gotta move on. You literally just have to be quiet and move on. And you have the power to not let them talk to you, do anything as far as accessing you. So you have to use that against them. Like,
they are mad because they don't have access to you anymore, and that makes them fucking sick. Once upon a time, they could control you, they could manipulate you, they could do whatever they wanted to. But that point where you stop letting them manipulate you, you stop giving them fucking control, they get upset. They're not upset that they lost you. They're upset that they don't have control of you anymore. I talk about this in my new book, The Power of Silence, how to detach and how to make this guy come back even when you go silent.
You know, it's crazy how when you get with a man, most of these men are average. Because let me tell you, a top tier man is just an average woman. So before you find these top tier men, like they're just average men. Men are celebrated for doing the bare minimum. Like when he changes a diaper, you'll hold a whole party for him because he changed the diaper. Meanwhile, he's the dad. Like, come on. Anyway, hey, far from that. Nothing humbles a man more than losing access to. And if you've been in a relationship before, especially a long-term relationship, you know what I'm talking about. Like, they cannot handle it. And let me tell you, these men will always play games with you. They'll always play you. Like, they need to remember that when they had you, they didn't want you. So why is it so hard? And let me tell you, most of these men, they might have moved on. They're in other relationships with other women or even men, and they're pissed when they see that you've moved on. Even if you moved on to yourself, it doesn't even have to be a man. Even if you moved on to yourself, you opened this business or you got this job, or you are doing this hobby, like you're finally thriving, you're finally paying him no mind, like he's not in your brain, you're able to be happy without him, like your happiness is not centered around him, they get so pissed. They can even be damaged. They can even start engaging in self-destructive habits just because you cut them off. Let me tell you, it's normally such a good thing to experience and to see, especially as a woman, because for us women, this comes on years later. It doesn't come on immediately, because as women, we move on to ourselves. We don't move on to other men, you know. So men will hurry up. They'll move on to other women to spite you. They'll do their big one on you. And the whole time they're doing this thinking that I'll just be back. I'll just, she'll take me back. I mean, she loves me too much to leave me. She can never detach. She can never detach from me. I'm so great. I mean, that's why she loved me so much with all her beauty, So, I'll just be back and she'll take me back with all my nonsense. That's what they think. And maybe he came back and you took him back a few times or even one time. And one day you put your foot down and you're like, wait, I'm tired of this nonsense. I'm tired of this bullshit. So you finally decide to go no contact, to cut all access from him, from his family, from anything that reminds you of him. Like, you delete every memory, you just move on. You just clear that part of your life. Like, it even becomes embarrassing. You even don't want to be associated with that man. You don't even want people to say, especially if you have a child with that monkey, you don't want people to say that, oh my God, that is your baby dad. Like, it's normally so embarrassing, because the version of you that was with that man cannot compare to the version of you right now. Like, it's always so embarrassing. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, you move on. Like, okay, he does his big one on you, and you're just quiet, you're just crying, you're just healing. Okay, years go by or even months go by, and you're in this place whereby you're not phased anymore. And the moment you disconnect, whatever he has going on with another woman always falls apart, because the whole relationship was built on you. It was built on making you sad. It was built on to destabilize you. It was built on to humble you, to make you oh, I can pull other women, so you need to be humble. You need to endure all the bullshit I'm taking you through because I'll get another woman. And you were like, you know what, go and get another woman, and you blocked him and you moved on. Some of you are even in other marriages, in other happy relationships, opening full businesses, running a channel like I am. Oh my God, those men cannot stand it. And it's normally so good to see. Let me tell you, your drama, your reactions, they give him relevance. They know that he's still relevant in your life. But the moment you go silent, the moment like you pay him no mind, the moment like you don't extend any form of energy, like me myself, I promised I'd never extend any form of energy, even if it's in form of texting. I'd never break my thumb. Like, that's how much I protect my energy. No rumination, no thinking about it, no remembering anything, like just going forward, just enjoying the now, just looking forward to the future, what the future has to hold, just realizing that this version of me couldn't exist without that version of me. Oh my God. They cannot handle it. Especially if you're winning without them. Especially when they come, they realize, hey, wait, I was holding those blessings for her. Like, she has become such a better person. She's experiencing things that she never experienced with me. Oh my God, they cannot handle it. And it's such a good sight to see. So if you're a woman in your heartbroken stage, especially from a long-term relationship, especially from a relationship whereby you've come out with kids or a kid, please hold on. It gets better. Work on yourself. Focus all your energy on yourself. It gets better. Life will reward you very soon. It will be very worth it. Anyway, please, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you loved it. Please let me know your comments in the comment section down below, and I'll be happy to engage with you. Bye.